What's up, guys? This is Blue, and this is the Hi, How Are You podcast, self-help for the uninitiated, where for 10 to 20 minutes a week, someone even lazier and perhaps even less busy than you tries to tell you that you deserve to treat yourself better. Where the two of us hold each other accountable. Accountability buddies. Yeah, I like that. Does anybody else suffer from sudden, immense pangs of guilt from decisions that you made with your own best interest in mind? Like all you're doing is something for yourself, not anything crazy or illegal. You're just making a mildly selfish decision. We all do this. But then I do it, and I hear that voice in the back of my head talking shit to me. This happens to me all the time. I feel guilt when I tell my dog bye in the morning, even though I know I have to earn money. And it's not like he's at a kennel. He's hanging out in an air-conditioned apartment with a couple of cats and a human. I feel guilt when I don't see my mom as often as she wants to be seen, even though I work 6 out of 7 days and I do my best. And also, she has a car too, and she can come see me too if she wants to. It's a two-way street. I feel guilt for not going straight to my brother's apartment to see my dog right after work, even though I rarely go anywhere else because I'm constantly concerned about my dog. I feel guilt when my family says, "Your dog deserves better," even though I do the best I can. And also, what the fuck? I don't hear anyone telling a subpar parent, "Hey, your daughter deserves better," because why would you even say that to someone unless they asked you? I feel guilt when I tell my family about my plans to travel and their responses, "You're just gonna leave your animal here?" Even though I literally never go anywhere else and I hadn't even asked if they would watch me yet, but now that I know where they stand and how they feel, I end up not going anywhere at all because the heat's too much for my dog sometimes, and you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe Catholic guilt isn't the right phrase. Maybe it's more familial guilt, because no one gets into my head like my family does. The guilt thing does stem from a semi-religious background though, for me at least. Sexuality was a huge guilt factor for me growing up. Believing that being gay was a sin, or at least a slap in the face to your mother, led me to instead be ashamed of it, hide it, lie about it, as if lying isn't a sin in itself. When it came to sex in general, we were told we had to wait until marriage, even though that wasn't the precedent set for us by our own parents. But it was an easy line to repeat to straight boys who didn't understand that I wasn't interested in them, not even a little bit. "I'm saving myself for marriage, sorry," I'd say. Damn, I can't believe that I actually used that line. Another layer of shame. Truthfully, I don't do things to please people anymore. Not like I used to when I was a kid. I desperately wanted to be the good kid or the smart kid, at least to my mom and other adults in authority. But it was honestly counterintuitive to my innate need to do hood rat shit with my friends, kids my own age. In secret, I was following around crowds of bad kids, seeking their approval because I wanted to be accepted wherever I could. It was a confusing time, setting small fires, hacking teachers' emails, committing quote-unquote terroristic threats, shoplifting and opening a candy store in between classes in middle school. And I was gay. And that was what everyone was focused on. Who cares what I do for their approval? In 1999, it wasn't okay to be gay, especially not in my neighborhood. Even though I've come across so many Hispanic families that have at least one butch aunt who is still pretending that they're just bisexual. So when I was home with my mom, I put all that stuff on hold and played the role of good daughter by reading a book on the front porch or cooking my little brother's mac and cheese, just being a generally good kid. When my mom finally found out what kind of shit I'd gotten myself into, the amount of disappointment and anger was palpable. I decided that I would continue to hide whatever parts of me I needed to just to never disappoint my mom again. I think I stopped giving a shit after my cousin died. I feel like much of his unhappiness stemmed from also having to hide who he was, and the family circumstances that he was trapped in only exacerbated that depression that led to the end of his life. You want to talk about shame? It's a shame that a boy couldn't live a complete life because the enormity of guilt we feel trying to please our parents, our family. You don't want to let anybody down. The shame is that he wasn't allowed to live for himself, and I can't let history repeat itself. Battling depression is hard. You really have to force yourself to get out of your own way, and it doesn't work that way for everyone, especially when they're not given the right tools. Life is hard enough without worrying about whether your decisions are making someone else happy. Alright, Blue, so what's the problem? If you're looking out for you, then why are you even doing this episode? Because no matter how much self-talk I do, meditating, mindfulness, self-medication, and healing, the pang still creeps in every so often out of nowhere. Even when I don't think I can do any more than what I've already done, all it takes is someone bringing up my dog to knock me down several pegs. It's usually family, and the guilt usually stems from my dog. Maybe it's because I know Dove could probably be happier with the right people, but I could never give him up because of the chance that he could be worse off. And at least I know I'll love on my bub and I won't take my bad day out on him. He is a good boy and he's my only friend. I'm not perfect, but he doesn't go without. And once he's gone, I'll probably never have another dog because, once again, to me, getting another dog would mean replacing him, and I would never do that. He really is a good boy. I'm doing the best that I can for him. Those who have something to say typically aren't contributing to his well-being, so I'm not sure what the purpose of speaking up and not doing anything about it is. Hey guys, new rule. If you think Dover deserves a better life, I'll give you my Venmo so you can send money to the cause. That way you can speak with your money and not your mouth. Sorry everyone, this isn't meant to be a rant about my dog. I think some of you can probably relate in that we wear ourselves thin to provide the best quality of life to ourselves and the ones that we love, so when we're told that it's not enough, it does feel personal. I mean, it is personal, because if that person knows the entire situation and feels that way, they're speaking on you and what kind of person you are. Whether that's intentional or not, you have to determine whether or not what they're saying has any truth to it. If it does, maybe that's where the guilt comes from. But do you need to feel guilt in the first place? I feel like that kind of guilt is embedded in me. I'm a pretty selfish person. I have no kids because I love money more, and I've never met a dollar that I didn't like. I live a very free life. I answer to very few people. I spend my nights and days and weekends however I choose for the most part. I can't imagine having to plan my trips to outer space around a babysitter. That sounds pretty lame. Maybe your family's opinion of you doesn't come from truth at all. Maybe they're speaking to you from a place of bitterness or jealousy. You have to be able to decipher that and react appropriately. I haven't yet gotten to a point where I can misdirect that guilt other than to stop actively thinking about it. Maybe it's a work in progress. My hope is that I learn to stop second-guessing my decisions because maybe my family isn't in the same place that I am in life, and that's where they want to be and they can't. And honestly, that's not my problem. Anyways, rate and subscribe, por favor. Probably can use a few more positive reviews on iTunes if you wanna. And also, if you wanna listen to awesome music, listen to me, this podcast, and way more 24/7 over on my baby, ramblinvanradio.com. Set a bookmark, tell your friends. I love all of you. Get at me.